My name's Ashley Pinnock. I work as a conservation advisor for Essex and Suffolk Water for the conservation land management team. Today we're on a spring sort of site visit with partners that manage floating pennyworts along the River Chelmer and Blackwater. This is a spring visit today to look at different areas where we've got a problem with floating pennywort. We do it every year to sort of help plan the season ahead. How we can sort of target control of this invasive species by working together collaboratively with the different partners and stakeholders. Yeah, so floating pennywort, it grows very, very fast. It's very, very invasive, so it tends to outcompete our native species of plant, which is not very good for biodiversity. So generally speaking, it will spread really, really quickly, up to 20 centimetres a day. And can literally go from one side of the river to the other, which will create lots of shade. Other plants won't be able to grow. It's also not good for fish stocks and things like that because they can't move around the river as well. Also, it's not good for recreational activities, so people obviously use the waterways on barges and boats, kayakers, other recreational users. The floating pennywort, once it's really, really bad, it can stop them from moving around the river. Collectively, we all have an interest in this water, and the group was formed back in 2017 so we could tackle the problem of this invasive species together rather than each doing our own thing and maintaining that communication.
My name's Ben Norrington. I work in the Fisheries Biodiversity team for the Environment Agency, but I've sort of been on this river in many different guises, looking at ecology sampling, fish sampling and non-native plant work. So it's it's good that we've got this steering group now where we can all actually pit our efforts together and make a difference, because 20 years ago pretty much from Chelmsford to Heybridge had about 70% coverage. It completely took over, and it took a lot of resources and efforts, and it really did impact the native fish population as well as the insects. So from a sort of more of a science and a sort of monitoring view, the pennywort does have an impact on the wider environment.
My name's Anthony Comber. I'm the General Manager of Essex Waterways. We're the navigation authority for the Chelmer and Blackwater navigation. My interest here today is to be thankful, really. This partnership that's been put together helps us keep the river clear and clear of pennywort, and it's such a big project. It's not something that we couldn't do without the partnership. Our benefit from that is that in the past this river's literally been bank to bank filled with pennywort, so it's unnavigable for our boat users, canoeists and leisure users on the river. So without the team that are here today, we wouldn't have an active river in the same way as we've got now.
Hi, my name's Paul Sims. I'm a contractor. I run a business called Native Landscapes. I've been dealing with invasive species for about 12-15 years now, specifically dealing with aquatic invasive plant species for the last 10 years. Of those, there are 5 really quite bad invasive plants that can do a lot of damage in the British environment, including floating pennywort. That's why we're here today. We're having a look along the river to see what the current state is, and actually so far it's looking pretty good compared to what it did a few years ago.
My name's David Torres. I'm from the Ilford District Piscatorial Society. We rent the fishing rights on the lower River Blackwater, where it crosses over the Chelmer into the tidal, and what we call Neville's Cut, which is a small island there. We've had basic problems with pennywort ever since I joined the club. But we found it's much easier to control the problem if you start early when it's small and manageable. Once you leave it to the stage where it's in big rafts, you've got a massive task on your hands. So luckily there are some very good volunteers on the river now who I'm meeting with today who are doing a very good job in controlling it.
Yeah, I'm Neil Frost from the Channel Canal Trust. We're a volunteer organisation that has an interest in the navigation, wanting to preserve its sort of the natural environment and the natural facilities that it offers. Well, I'm part of the Essex Suffolk Water Floating Pennywort Network Group. We're on a site visit just to look at one of the parts of the navigation that we sometimes talk about in our actual meetings. Just looking at where some of the pinch points might be, talking informally about how we can best work together and progress the work on floating American pennywort.